Super Bowl coming up this Sunday, and along with the big game, it can also mean big-time betting. And for some people, that can be a problem.
So here to talk about sports gambling is Susan Sheridan Tucker, the Executive Director of the Minnesota Alliance on Problem Gambling. Thanks so much for being with us here today.
Thanks for inviting me.
So we know Minnesota, now one of the minority of states where sports betting is not legal, but we know here in Minnesota, people are still going to find a way to bet on the big game coming up.
Absolutely. So there are apps that you can go on. All you have to do is Google bet in Minnesota and a whole bunch will come out. Mm-hmm. They will lead you typically to offshore sites, which are much more predatory. And you can do all the gambling that you want to do on those sites. So we really try to discourage people from using those sites because often you don't get paid out when you want to be paid out, and they keep you playing.
Right.
So there are caveats with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious because sports betting, it's been a topic of discussion at the Minnesota State Capitol for the last several years now. What does your organization want to see when it comes to sports betting here in the state of Minnesota?
So for us, it's all about consumer protections. We want to make sure we're not anti-gambling. So we want to make sure that when somebody engages in gambling, that they're doing it in as safe a way as possible to minimize the risks, so that when somebody does start to show problematic behavior, there are tools now, especially on devices through technology, that the operators can pretty much ID a player that's having a problem. And so we'd like to see those consumer protections built into a bill. Now, these are evolving things. This is happening so quickly, so it's really hard to keep up. But to phrase the bill in such a way that changes in technology that will help customers, those are things that we want to see built in, along with minimizing the amount of advertising, because we know that when somebody is exposed to a lot of advertising, especially youth, they think this is an attractive thing. We're normalizing this behavior, which is very troubling.
So, Susan, you are part of the Minnesota Alliance on Problem Gambling. What are some of the signs that people might show that say, okay, yeah, I do have a problem with this?
Right, and this is not just on sports betting, right? This is everywhere. So people who are betting frequently, they start to, their attention span is really about the game. How much more can I play? Their thoughts become very preoccupied. They're spending money they can't afford to lose. They're becoming more isolated, and their relationships are starting to suffer. They may not show up for work. They may not show up for school. I mean, and then chasing losses is a huge characteristic.
I noticed that I'm seeing those signs in someone else, or I'm seeing those signs in myself. Where can I go for resources, or where can I go for help?
Our website is a great place, mnapg.org. There's an 800 number if you're ready to talk to a provider, a treatment provider, 1-800-333-HOPE. We also offer a free subscription to a blocking tool, a blocking app, so people can contact us and we will give that to you for free.
That could come in handy.
And we're also we've partnered with Lutheran Social Services, financial services, to provide some financial counseling, because we're in our busy season. We've got the Super Bowl, then we move into March Madness, and then we move into tax season. And that's when a lot of families start to realize, oh my goodness, all those 1099s that people have collected from this casino or whatever, all those wins, but they don't have the money to show. So that's where
the ripple effect.
Right. And families are the silent victims in all of this. And we really need to be doing more for families.
Well, Susan, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it.